Saturday night live from Singapore, the UFC returns with the light heavyweight championship on the line in the main event as champion Glover Teixeira defends his title for the first time against the electrifying Jiri Prochazka. Let's break it down. Jiri Prochazka is 29 years old. He's 6'4" with an 80-inch reach and a record of 28-3 with 25 knockouts and 2 submissions. From Brno, Czech Republic, Prochazka, a natural athlete, began training in Muay Thai at the age of 16 while serving in the Brno Protective Service Academy, and immediately upon graduation won the National Muay Thai Championships. He made his pro debut in 2012 with a first-round knockout of Stanislav Teixiera, and then won his next 3 by stoppage before getting knocked out by Bohan Vikolovic. In his 10th pro fight, he won the inaugural GCF light heavyweight title in a brutal fight with Martin Solk, knocking him out with a flying knee. He defended that belt 7 times with 6 stoppages before signing with Rizin and entered their light heavyweight Grand Prix, knocking out Satoshi Ishii with a head kick. 2 days later, he scored a TKO over Vadim Nemkov, but later that night was knocked out by Muhammad Lawal. He bounced back from that loss by winning his next 7 fights with 6 knockouts before challenging Lawal in a rematch for the light heavyweight title. After a grueling 2.5 rounds, Prochazka landed a series of hooks and uppercuts to claim the title. In his first defense, he took on Fabio Maldonado, stunning him halfway through the first round and knocking him out with a 3-punch combination. In his last fight for Rizin, he defended his belt against CB Dollaway, knocking him out with a right uppercut left hook combo. In early 2020, he signed with the UFC and in July took on number 7 contender Volkan Ozdemir in an all-action brawl that saw over 100 punches thrown in the first round. Prochazka stunned Ozdemir with a head kick before finishing him with a right cross. On May 1st, 2021, he took on number 3 contender Dominic Reyes, engaging in another exciting back-and-forth slugfest until knocking Reyes out in the second round with a vicious spinning back elbow. A wildly unorthodox brawler who carries immense power in both hands, Prochazka also possesses excellent cardio, often overwhelming opponents with volume, and boasts a perfect 100% takedown defense. Glover Teixeira is 42 years old. He's 6'2" with a 76-inch reach and a record of 33-7 with 18 knockouts and 10 submissions. From Sabriala, Minas, Brazil, Teixeira grew up in a rural community with no electricity before he moved to Danbury, Connecticut at 20 years old to find work as a landscaper. After watching old tapes of UFC 1 and 2, he decided he wanted to be like his idol, Royce Gracie, despite having never previously heard of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He began training at American Top Team in Connecticut and then spent some time at DePayton, California, training with Chuck Liddell. He began competing in grappling tournaments and made his MMA debut in June of 2002, losing by second-round knockout. Over the next 9 years, he compiled a record of 17-2, including knockouts of Marvin Eastman and Rico Rodriguez, before making his UFC debut in 2012 with a triangle choke of Kyle Kingsbury. He went on to beat Quentin Rampage Jackson and knocked out Fabio Maldonado and Ryan Bader before challenging John Jones for the light heavyweight title in 2014, losing by unanimous decision. After dropping a decision to Phil Davis, he bounced back with a rear naked choke of Oven St. Preux, then won the performance of the night with a brutal first-round knockout of Rashad Evans. In 2016, he was knocked out by Anthony Rumble Johnson, and after bouncing back with a decision over Jared Cannonier, he was defeated in an exciting back-and-forth brawl by Alexander Gustafsson after getting caught with 3 consecutive uppercuts, followed by a right hook. After dropping a decision to Corey Anderson, he had a career resurgence, defeating Carl Roberson by triangle choke, Ian Kutabala by rear naked choke, and Nikita Krylov by decision. In May of 2020, he took on perennial contender Anthony Smith, giving him a hellacious beating resulting in Lionheart losing several teeth, as well as a broken nose and orbital bone, en route to a 5th-round stoppage. 6 months later, he faced Thiago Santos in a savage war of attrition that saw him rocked several times as the fight ebbed and flowed until Santos punched himself out, with Teixeira reversing position and submitting him rear naked choke. On October 30th, 2021, he challenged light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz, taking him to the ground and winning by a dramatic rear naked choke to become the oldest first-time champion in UFC history. One of the most well-rounded fighters in the division, Teixeira possesses world-class wrestling, over a decade of experience facing the cream of the light heavyweight division, as well as explosive one-punch knockout power in both hands. Will the unorthodox style and relentless pressure of Prochazka be too much for the new champion? Or will the devastating power and elite-level grappling of Teixiera be enough to stop his young challenger as he seeks to cement his legacy as the very best in the division? Tune in Saturday night to UFC 275, and let's find out.